Howdy, it's Kyle standing here on Main Street in my hometown of Visalia, California, and in this video I'm going to talk about how this place, based on your personal preferences, might be the perfect place for you to move to or retire to. It's impossible to not be at least a little bit biased, but even thinking at least objectively as I possibly can, this place comes out pretty well, checks off a lot of boxes. So could it possibly be that the best place for a combination of desirability, low housing costs, and low taxes is right here in Gasp, California? Let's find out. All right, so I'm going to start off this tour downtown to give you guys an idea of what the downtown of this city looks like. And I'm going to be walking down Main Street, just kind of talking, so hopefully it won't be too wobbly and that the audio quality will be okay. But anyway, so I'm walking down Main Street here. Really nice street, a lot of well preserved local businesses. Right as I say that, this one burned down last year, so they're rebuilding. But honestly, really nice Main Street. Everything is just local boutiques, except for a Starbucks, because of course there's a Starbucks. But everything else is just local boutiques, a lot of restaurants, bars, a lot of bougie stuff. This is a town that hasn't really been bougie in the past, but it's got some of it coming into town here. So let me go over some of the basics of the city. It has a population of about 140,000 people, and it is the largest city in Tulare County, which has about 450,000. So, oh, by the way, this place is amazing. Orange ice cream, oh man, it's so good. So the county, 450,000 people, with a lot of people, but it's a huge county in terms of area. So it's not like it's one big metro. At least 60,000 people or so that live in this county live over an hour away from Visalia. So coming up to a busy intersection might be kind of loud. But one thing that's really cool about this town is that even during the pandemic, I don't think really anything shut down. All of these local businesses that were here before, you are not watching me jaywalk on video, but all of these businesses that were here before are still here, so nothing shut down. As far as I know, it's really cool. And again, as I say that, this one looks like it's been shut down, but they're remodeling it. I'm not sure what they're doing with it, but yeah, this is mainly a farming community. This Tulare County here is the #1 dairy producing county in the entire country, so it's major for dairy. All those cows are supposed to be happy in California. Those are outside of town here. This is also the #2 county in the country for crop growing, so hear all the jokes about California as a land of fruits and nuts, blah blah blah. Well, yeah, they come from right here. So everything is very ag oriented. So if you're not working literally directly in the fields or in the actual gathering process of the ag, the products, you might be working in agribusiness. So that's what my dad did. He was on the business side, packaging and shipping, all kinds of stuff that goes into the agribusiness side of it. So this is kind of like the agribusiness hub of the region. So another busy intersection. So but this is a nice downtown. It goes on for a long way, and again, it's all local except for, of course, Starbucks. But I mean, you really have to go to a city kind of like maybe Santa Fe or Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine, excuse me, cities in this size range that have as much of a vibrant downtown with as much local stuff as this one. So look over there, that building, the Darling, that's the old county courthouse. I don't know of too many places in America where you can live in the old county courthouse. It's now kind of an old, it's like a hipster apartment complex now. Not sure how much they cost. They're probably not cheap. All right, so moving on to this part of downtown, it becomes a little more restaurant and bar oriented. This place here, Lake Bottom Brewery, has a brand new microbrewery in town. Had a soft opening last week. They shouldn't have. They weren't ready. The beer is not that good. So, but that is the 4th microbrewery in this city, which is crazy for a town this small. Good game shop here. Good record shop here. The guy is weird. He's never open. You have to he's in there. Well, he's in there. But you have to call. It's weird. Dude's weird. So a lot of really cool place. I mean, this, again, farming town, but it's become a little bit bougie. I mean, There's still no food scene here. If you're a foodie, this is not the town for you, but if you're into casual and fast food, this is a great spot for the local Mexican kind of places. This is the big skyscraper downtown Visalia. It's not one, it's not seven, but 6 stories. That's right, 6 stories. Yeah, I mean, when I grew up here, it was pretty boring. I was like, man, this place is lame. It's not what's going on here. It's not a good place to be a kid, and it really wasn't, but it's gotten a lot better. It's much more interesting. So you're starting to see more people move here from other parts of the state and other parts of the country. I've been seeing Texas and Florida plates here. I think a lot of the stuff you hear on the news about California, well, it's true for some parts, but not for this. And it's very nice. And for what you can get a house here for and what the cost of living is, and wages are above average, housing costs are average, taxes are average. And so I'll get to some more of the business and boring stuff, but as we keep going this way, really good microbrewery here. This is my favorite one. This one's been around for quite a while. They're making really good beers. In case you're wondering, I keep saying the downtown's vibrant and you might see all these empty parking spots. I'm actually recording this at 9 in the morning, so most of these businesses aren't even open yet. But an interesting high-end barbershop scene in Visalia. There's like 3 or 4 high-end barbershops on this town, on this main street. I'm not sure exactly why, but if you've watched my videos, you know that I am definitely one that is into the high-end barbershop scene. All right, so I'm going to stop it right about here. This area here, Silla Plaza, is where they shut it down. The street can have farmers markets, and you can imagine in the top ag-producing country or ag-producing region of the country, have quite a tremendous farmers market. So that's the downtown of Visalia. Nice town. Let's see what else we can learn about this place. I'm here at Mooney Grove Park, which is a county park that preserves a pretty large stand of old growth oak trees. Visalia is known as the Oak Tree City, so a cool spot to record here, nice and quiet. So a lot of times people will say that, you know, if the best thing you can say about a place is that it's close to other places, that means the place you're talking about isn't that nice. But I've always very much disagreed with that sentiment, because being close to other places, I think, is very important, because you're not going to spend every day, every minute of your life at the place you actually live. It's nice to have places that are just a day trip away, or a weekend trip kind of places you can get away just every now and then. So it's nice to have good places really close. So here, a lot of great places. So the closest really cool spot is Sequoia National Park. It's 45 minutes from here to the entrance, and in another half an hour, once you're in the park, you're at over 7,000 feet looking at the largest trees in the world. Beautiful spot, and you don't have to go very far to get to some extreme wilderness. So really nice to be that close to that beautiful national park. Yosemite is only about an hour and a half north of here. The coast is only a little over 2 hours to the west, so the closest beach town is called Pismo Beach. Really nice, authentic, legit California beach town. It's too far north of LA for people from the LA area to go there, and it's too far south to the San Francisco Bay Area for people from there to go there. So it's just tourists from other parts of Central California. Very legit. It's not a place that international tourists go to. So if you want to see some legit California beach town that that's untouched by some of the bigger city metro areas or large scale tourism, check out the San Luis Obispo County coastal towns. But that's where you would go to most often if you live here. So you got some great beach towns close here. I think the best ones in California. You've got the beautiful mountains. I think the most beautiful mountains in the country, maybe. You've got the 2 most interesting, most vibrant cities, at least 2 of the most interesting, vibrant cities close by. You can visit them at all times. You can go to San Francisco, you can go to LA, do city stuff, but you don't have to live there. So it's nice to go up there for the weekend, music festival, or shopping, or go to a Giants or 49ers game, or a Dodgers or Lakers game, or whatever. So it's nice to have those places really close, but not have to live there. You can live in a nice small town, not small town, big town like this, have really nice stuff nearby, but the town itself here is pretty nice too. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that too, but now let's get to some of the business end of the stuff, some of the more boring stuff. So now let's take a look at some of the actual numbers for the city. Household income is about $60,000 per year. Median house value is about $264,000. So both of those are well below average. If you look at the March 29 cost of living index, it's about 89, which is below average, with 100 being average. And the poverty rate of the city is below average as well. There is some poverty in the city, but the surrounding area is actually very poor. but the city itself is average to above average. So here's some houses I pulled up on Zillow. Just some random houses I was looking at. This is a pretty standard Visalia house, $265 for a 3.2, 1220 square foot. Property taxes, you can look at those down there, about $1,200, pretty low. Another pretty similar Visalia style house. You know, it's about what you're going to get for your money in this price range, quiet neighborhoods. This one's kind of weird. It's kind of interesting. Much more expensive. I'm not sure exactly what's so special about it, but it does look kind of hip and modern, not very Visalia. Here's one that's, you know, if you want to go cheap, fixer-upper, not the best neighborhood, but even the worst neighborhoods in this town aren't that bad. Here's my favorite part of town. I love the old houses, bungalows, old Spanish style, big properties, real nice. Obviously much more expensive, but even the property taxes in this area are pretty low, about $2,800. Another kind of middle class, upper middle class type house, quiet street, quiet neighborhood. You're getting much more bang for your buck in terms of housing here than most other places. So here you can go big piece of property out in the woods, or not woods, but out in the foothills, $695. You know, we want to go real big ranch house with a bunch of property out in the mountains. You can go big here. And if you just want the property itself, 2 acres, $150. So that's just some of the, you know, the costs you can expect associated with Visalia. Low housing costs, and the income taxes in California are known to be pretty high. But with the median household income for Visalia, it'll slot at that 6% state income tax, which is above average nationally, but not that much more. A lot of places are about 5% or so. So with slightly above average income tax and well below average property taxes, the overall cost of living in Visalia is pretty cheap. So it isn't just cheap, it's also pretty nice, because a lot of places that are cheap kind of suck. So I'm staying in my parents' house right now, and they actually in their bedroom have a map of the U.S. on their wall. So I figured I would record this last part here, even though the lighting isn't very good at all. But anyway, if you're somebody from California that feels like you've been priced out, like you can't live along the coast, just cost of living is too high, housing is too much, taxes are too much, and you're looking to move, just realize there are parts of California that are actually pretty cheap and low tax, despite what the media are going to tell you. And also, they're not really horrible places, because normally you think about cheap places in California, they're usually like Barstow or, you know, out in the desert, just real dumpy kind of towns in the valley. But don't overlook Visalia, because it is in the valley, even though the valley is normally considered kind of one of the worst parts of the state. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up to let me know you approve, and subscribe to this channel if you're interested in learning more about U.S. geography. I'm talking about cities and counties and states and ranking them in all kinds of different categories, and just talking about all different kinds of things, but geography related. But if you're interested in that kind of stuff, subscribe. But yeah, thanks for watching. Geography King signing out.